And we're getting ready. Oh, happy Saturday it is. Oh, it finally hit. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel here on Twitch. I am Superback Jr., Retro Gamer. I go back to the first generation of gaming. Sadly. We'll put some age on me anyway. And today we're going to be talking about and playing some of Konami's classic games. Games that came out prior to Contra. This is pre-1985, so all these games here will be around that time. In fact, there's going to be a bunch of them here. We're going to play 10 games. We'll talk about where they came from, how they got to be, as well as not all these games were actually under the Konami label back in the day. Two of them were primarily Stern or Centauri. And that's because Konami was not a presence in North America just as of yet. They would be soon, largely due to the home market, namely the Nintendo Entertainment System. But even then, they had Ultra games, so not all their games were actually licensed under their Japanese moniker of Konami. So there you go. So that is the pinned question we have: is what Konami game was your favorite? Now, I could say my favorite one actually goes back to the NES era, and that would be Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. It was the first of the modern, if you will, modern Castlevanias that didn't play like an arcade game. In other words, there was no timer, there was no points. It was just simply a quest. A quest, and you got stronger, you got better weapons, you accumulated items, etc., etc. Fantastic game, had a killer soundtrack. Look it up. One day we may actually play it, simply because of the fact that it's just that good of a game. That probably would be a Saturday edition. But there it is. So anyway, should you stop by, check out the VOD later on. Check this out on YouTube in a couple of weeks as well. You can make comments there. Nevertheless, though, we're going to go ahead and get started with Konami Classics. So let's see. My controller seems to always walk away from me when I get ready. Oh, well, before we get started, also, we were talking about, towards the end of last stream, they're coming out with an Atari 2600 Plus. And we looked at the specs of that thing. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the actual Atari 2600 itself. Essentially, it's Atari 7800 because it plays both 7800 and 2600 games. It retails for $130. I was thinking, do I really want to put that? I really do. I really would like to actually have one so I could put it on here, because I have a shitload of 2600 and 7800 games that I could literally play. And I would like to, put in some actual Atari bona fide hardware up to this crappy ass computer on this pokey little show, and we can relive my youth when I was playing this crap. So, back when I was a kid in grade school and stuff like that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Oh, we're going to go to the arcade machine this time around. And you can see that we actually have a little bit of a vignette here. That is Puyan. You can see that game. In fact, let me go ahead and turn on the music here so we can actually hear what the hell this thing sounds like. We'll talk about that as we roll around. Where the hell is it? There it is. Okay. Ah! And it's giving a kind of a vignette, a demonstration of what games will be. There's some fighting games, believe it or not, some shooters, some arcade action, some silliness. Here you go. Konami Arcade Classics. This was released back in 1999 in the North American market for PS1. It is an early compilation of arcade games. There weren't too many others before this. There were plenty of that came afterwards. Next week we're actually going to show the very first one, very first marketed, commercially made emulator. And we'll give some hints about that later on throughout the stream. In this case, this is Konami Arcade Classics. I'm going to roll around so we can see the actual vignette one more time. Sometime today. It should be here any second now. Oh, good God. There you go. Okay. So here's a little thing here that they put up there. Oh, look at all those. We got Konami Arcade Classics, Super Cobra Yard Kung Fu Gyrus. I love that game. Challenge Road. Time Pilot. Love that game too. Turkish Charlie. Rock and Roll. That's a great game. I had that for the 2600, as a matter of fact. Puyan. My son actually likes that game. And Scramble. And there you go. Let's check out the silliness here. Oh yeah. And this became a thing in the 90s, mid 90s, going forward. Everyone was putting out arcade classics and their compilations and stuff like that. Atari did it. Taito did it. Activision did it. We actually played some of those. We played some of the ones from Intellivision as well. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Go back to the arcade machine. Where the heck is it? There it is. Alrighty. So we have a choice of games here. We're just going to go down the line from the start. That's Puyan. Now that's a little silly little arcade game. And before I get started with these, there used to be a game show back in the 1980s with host Jeff Edwards. Originally was Mark Richards. Jeff Edwards, and the game was called Starcade. And two players, or two teams of players, would go head-to-head, literally, playing their favorite arcade games, or their five arcade games, accumulating points, and whoever had more points would win the game and would go on to play for their very own arcade game. And it would be displayed and all that kind of stuff. And it was a pretty cool show. And some of these games, I got to see them on that show for the first time. And of course, then I'd ask my dad's friend, Marty, hey, when are you going to get these games? And he said, I'll get them. Of course, he never did. But anyway, Puyan. Let's take a look at Puyan. This is a cute little game. And all these are going to be one player. Two player would be simply alternate playing. So here's loading. Let's take a look at the little things that it has. You can drop wolves at once with meat. Now they'll show up from time to time. Otherwise, you have arrows. Watch out for wolves climbing on a cliff. And when 7 wolves are gathered here, they will, get out of the way, drop a rock on you, because you pretty much are stationary. Here's your controls. You can go up and down. You can shoot arrows and meat. Meat. Here we go. One day in the forest. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! That was dumb. I lost a life. I will do much better. So what you want to do is you want to shoot down those wolves before they make it up to you. The sound's still not working there. Got new graphics, but the sound's not working. Sorry about that, Ben. Welcome to the stream, though. Appreciate it. Oh, come on. Of course, they lob stuff at you as well. Come on. There you go. Okay. Oh. No, no, no. Ah. Oh. Blast. So I went into the settings to gain everything maximum lives, so we can actually, like, you know, last more than 3 minutes. Ah! Metal Gear Solid franchise. That's a good one. That's a good one. Remember when Metal Gear first came out? Under the Ultra Games label. Back in '88 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Originally it was on a Japanese system called the MSX. And it proved popular enough where it tested well here in America. And lo and behold, we got our first Metal Gear under Ultra Games. Oh, that was dumb. Good job, Skip. Okay. Okay, good. And that's it. Woohoo! Now they're going up. Oh. And that's not good. Oh, close. Good. Okay, that's not good. Yep, now they're 4. As you see, some of these will take multiple hits. Oh! Close. 20,000 already. Okay, I got 4 of them now. Oh, come on. Ah! 2 minutes and 49 seconds. That was average back in those days, believe it or not. Oh. Yes. Okay, put my initials in here in the vanity table. Second letter's easy. Oh! I hit pad. Damn it. Okay, well. Fortunately, we're not saving it. Yeah, we'll play one more. Why not? Like I said, this was a cute little game. I first saw this one on Starcade, which was pretty cool, I have to admit. Okay. Like I said, that meat stick comes up every once in a while. Okay, you know what? No! What the hell, doof? Good job. That's when you get them. Okay, well, that didn't work out as good as I'd hope. Okay, well, yeah. That was good. Now there is another early game that's not on this list, because down here is actually attributed to Sega. That would be Frogger. Frogger was a Konami creation. But Sega had it. Nice. And literally made a lot of money for them. Parker Brothers. Oh, there you go. Close. There you go. 12 left. Okay, race down, race down, race down. Get it. You suck. Alright. Okay, that means that I don't want to go down there anymore. Yeah, that should be it. No, 2 left. And that's it. Alrighty. Took 8 pigs. Damn. Konami sure loves games where you shoot balloons. They do. Gotta remember the time. Gotta remember the time there, Vin. Okay. This was 82. So, imaginations were kind of strange then. I believe this was a Centauri game. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. many do I have left? 29. Well, I'm done. Oh, man. Yes, it is. Big Bag Wolf aspect is unique. It is for this. Okay. Yeah, shot the meat way too soon. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I deserve that. There we go. Where's the meat? That didn't sound right. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I love it. That's a great game. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I improved it just a tad. Very good. See if I can get my name right this time. I'm such a good player. Not PAB. Yeah, there you go. PAC, my initials. And we'll not play that again. That is a fun little game. That was from Konami back in 1982. Let's take a look at this one now. This is Scramble. Now, Scramble is a shooter. It's a side-scrolling shooter. And there's another game that's very, very similar to that one. They came out the same year. And we'll see that in a little bit as well. And both of them were produced by Stern Electronics, a pinball manufacturer, back in 1981 for here in North America. So let's take a look at this game first. I just happen to have this also on my Atari 5200. And it was a pretty good little thing there. Okay, so you can go in 8 directions, one of the few 8-directional joystick games of the time. And you can fire both a shot and a missile. Let's take a look at what the instructions says. Check 1. Watch out for enemies' missiles which are shot at you suddenly. Calculate points where bombs drop. That's check 2. And check 3. Destroy fuel tanks and reload fuel frequently. So, in other words, you need to shoot those fuel tanks one way or the other, so you obtain your fuel. Because if you run out of fuel, guess what? Your life is over. And of course, they show you the space fighter. That's you, the fuel tank. That's what you need. And of course, bombs and missiles and all that kind of shit. So here we go. Bonus ship for every 10,000. Assuming I actually can get that far. Here we go. Okay. I missed that completely. Look at that. A whole 250 points before I die. You only get 2 missiles there, so... That's not good. Did I get those? I got 1. That's good. Okay. The fuel consumption is rather rapid in this game. It will give you all kinds of noise that you're about to die. That should have hit. It don't matter. It don't matter. The thing with this, like an early Gradius. Gradius wouldn't come out for another couple of years. Of course, everyone's favorite Life Force. This is like Gradius on steroids. Okay, yeah, I know I'm out of fuel. I know. I think the colors changed just to make it pretty. Okay, I got fuel. Okay, did I hit those? I missed both. Fantastic. Sharpshooter Tex I ain't. I'm hitting everything else. That's great. Man. I love it when people play these games and tell me how hard they are. I said, no kidding. This is what we had. This is like normal shit. Ah. Yeah. Yep. Like I said, not even close to 10,000. Good game. Should I torture myself again? Absolutely. And yep. There we go. We'll just do that. Miss the fuel tanks. Shoot the rockets. Get the hell out of the way. Missed it. You know what? I always argue that should have hit. That should have hit, and of course it didn't. That's just the way it works around here. At least it's green now because it's climate friendly. Hey, at least I crashed into the fuel tank, right? Good score. And I think the problem with the rockets is that, there you go. Yeah. Perfect. Is that they shoot out in front of you instead of like dropping directly below you. So you kind of have to take into that account. Otherwise, you're going to lose. And crash into the mountainside like I'm about to do in a few seconds. Running out of fuel. There you go. Bye. Like Defender with gravity. Except Defender had like 6 controls. This one only had 3. Well, it did a better score this time. Shit. Yeah. Let's go. Clean miss. Get those 2. A, I missed them. And B, it don't matter. Okay, cool. Yeah, one more time. Why not? Okay. Fly like an eagle. Oh, I hit it. Probably because I was just too damn close. Okay. Okay, yep. I hit everything but the fuel tank. Alright. Perfect. I'm just waiting for the alarm. Yep. Yep. You know, it's hard to believe I have yet to even make it to the second zone. I can do it. No, not that way. Laugh insert fail horn, yeah. Oh, I'm almost grateful then that the sounds aren't working because I have a feeling you would be spamming the hell out of me right now with fail horn. Okay. That was close. Surfing that rock. Alright. Get those! Missed! Missed! Show you how it missed there. Stupid rocket. Stupid fuel tank. Alright. I got this. You got this. But you know what? I look at the bright side. I'm actually improving my score. This was a hard game. Yes, indeed. Even for the old days standards. These old arcade games would almost encourage it. Yes, yes they would. Thank God we didn't have things like that back in the day. Let's see, how old was I when this game came out? I think it was, what, 8 or 9? Yeah. It goes back a bit. Alright. Can we do one more? Yeah, what the hell. It's a short game. This is one of those painful games. Now, one game I do wish that was in this collection, because it would have been perfect for the 2-player aspect, would be, believe it or not, Track and Field. Track and Field was done through Centauri in North America, but nevertheless, it was indeed a Konami game. And you can find it on the NES. They did actually have it. Don't think any of the second gens had it as a game. I think it was third gen for home version. Nevertheless. Oh, shut up. I'm still in the first zone. Okay. With the pretty colors. Cyan and magenta. Oh, there's blue. Finally got a blue there. Like, he can't make up his mind. Believe it or not, a lot of these games did this back in this day. Particularly Williams games. Largely so that you wouldn't get a lot of screen burn in. So, one thing about, like, Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man game. If you go to an old Pac-Man cabinet, you can easily see their screen burn in. Why? Because that blue maze is now on that screen for frickin' ever. But in other games, you didn't see it so much. And this would be one of them, simply because of the fact the colors kept on changing. Now, things that were on the screen perpetually, regardless of the color, like the zone box up there above me. Damn it. Those would eventually screen burn in, despite the fact they changed color. One of the reasons why Centipede changed color all the time, too, is to help prevent screen burn in, plus it looked cool. So there's a little bit of a tidbit there. And if you walk away from one of my streams learning something new, I've accomplished my mission. Yeah, it would help if I actually shoot stuff. Like that said fuel on it, for example. Okay. Okay. Hey, got fuel. Too little, too late, but hey, that's alright. Yeah, there you go. Still in the first zone, and I improved my score. That, believe it or not, was the ultimate goal. Was to get as high a score as you can. Alright. We shall move on. Ducky Wucky! Lucky! Hi! Hey, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. We're playing some Konami Classics from 1980 to 1985. In other words, games that are not like Contra, not like Metal Gear and all them. These are arcade games, as a matter of fact. And let's see, we played a little bit of Puyan, which is a cool little game. We just literally got our ass handed to us here on Scramble. Now we're going to play an old classic here, Yari Kung Fu. This is an early fighting game. Wait till you see this. Thanks for jumping in, I appreciate it. Okay, so, once again, an 8-directional joystick, which was unusual back in those days. And you can punch and you can kick. Let's see what they have here. English. Per special moves, use directional buttons and O and circle and X buttons, and you can do all these different moves. And, you know, considering this is before Street Fighter, considering this is before, hell, virtually any fighting game, I can't think of too many, other than boxing, would you actually find these. I think that's it. Yep, just those two titles. Okay. Namco fighting controls? You know what? That'd be a fair assessment. And here's my opponent, Buchu. Prang. So if I land a red mark like that, that's good for me. If I get a black one, though, that's not so good. Ah! There you go. Ta-da! And it's a one and done thing. Now I have 5 lives, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she gets to throw shit at me, so I can duck or jump in this case. Oh, come on. Yep. I'm in danger. Fantastic. Yep. I never care for Star. There you go. By the skin of my teeth. Oolong, are you in the shape-shifting pig? Here's Nuncha. Wonder why he's named that. It's one of the early talkies, too. For 1985, at least. So, Nintendo was coming out with Super Mario Brothers back in this day and age. For the arcade versus Super Mario Bros. To be more precise. Yeah. So here, Konami is making a very early example of a fighting game. Yeah. And just rub it in. Okay, here's my second chance at Nuncha. And be good if I actually hit him. I'm sort of reminded of, strangely enough, I'm not sure why, Broderbund made a game for the Apple and computers and other things called Karateka. It's another early example of this kind of stuff. Except Karateka was a bit more story-driven, certainly a bit more methodical. The only console version I know of off the top of my head is for the Atari 7800. But it was originally an Apple, the Apple II series games. Okay, here's my third chance to fail at Nuncha. Okay. If I can do that like over and over again. You have to remember, this is the same company. Not only would come out with crap like this, but they also did some of the greatest co-op games made in the arcades and certainly in the home systems, particularly the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When they came out with the Cowabunga collection a while back, that was absolutely, it's like one of the best collections you could possibly get if you like that stuff. I love that stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Perpetually Stage 3, here we come! Yes, there we go. I'm doing great. If I wanted to lose, I'm doing great. Come on. Yep. Okay, come on. Now, unfortunately, there's no guard. Yep. Hey, that was close. Okay, here's my fourth opportunity to lose. I can do it. I'm good at landing the first hit, but that's really about it. Two years later after this game, Capcom will come out there with the original Street Fighter. And it's about as limited as this. The sprites were bigger. That's about it. Okay. But it really didn't catch on until a bit later, about a couple more years. Largely with the Super Street Fighter. Oh, come on. One more hit. One more hit. You son of a... I think this is my last life. And then I get to fight Pole and Fetal should I actually make it. Boy, he's quick. I have to admit, it is a lot easier to play this game with a joystick. I'm using a PlayStation 2 controller because this is on my PlayStation 2. But, still. This is for entertainment purposes only. Yeah. Nope. One more. Took 4 lives. Pole. Yeah. Who would have thought he would have a pole? Because of course. Oh, Lord. Come on. That is a lucky hit. Cool. Fetal is next. He gets a walk-in. Oh! 2 of them. I forgot about that. It's a bunch of them. And there you go. Chain. Club, fan, sword, toe fun, and blues. Oh, I can't wait. Of course, I don't have the luxury of having something that'll go halfway across the screen. So it's just all timing. Yep. Generic names. Yeah, it was. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. See, how can I put my entire name on here? Bet you I can. Pray to God they don't have numbers. Okay. Oh, you suck. Can we go back one? Nope. Great. Then we'll just space it out. There we go. Yeah, we'll put an exclamation point. Sure. There we go. Well, that was thrilling. We're not going to play that one again. Okay, so far we saw Puyan, we saw Scramble, we got Rock and Rope. Okay, I had this for my ColecoVision. Also had it for the Atari 2600. This was actually pretty cool. This was developed by Konami for the arcades. Coleco made the version for home. So let's take a look at this. One player. If Sword had a sword, lame names. Yeah, it's 80. It's 82. It's 80. No, excuse me. It's 85. So, can I tell you? Okay, so 4-way joystick on this one. You connect the ropes and use the flashlight. Let's take a look at what else it has. Don't let enemies shake you off the rope, and they certainly will do that. Escape from enemies by grabbing onto creepers and icicles in every stage, and become invincible by getting the egg. That certainly is vital for this game, so let's take a look. It's a little game. And you want to get up to the top. Okay, back up a little bit. There you go. You gotta get up. There you go. Now you use the flashlight to stun the fellas there. Like that. Then I can safely pass. Get some bonus points. Okay. As long as my head can actually hit the rope, I can actually use that. Okay. I want that stupid egg. The caveman can jump, which is not fun. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. Take me away. Do they have 42, the aerial fighter game, or is that Retro Console, not arcade? 1942 was a Capcom game. There are some compilations that did include it, but they were not necessarily made for North America. They were on the MSX, which is a similar console to the Master System. Without actually being a Master System. Don't jump. Yeah. Foo. But 42 and 43, 1942, 43, those were both Capcom games. So they would not appear in this list. They were really cool, though. I loved them. Okay. Get away from me. Get away from me. Yeah. Okay. Damn it! Oh, this game's a pisser. This is a fine example of Konami's cuteness. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get it. No! I was going up. Alright. Can't succeed. Fail, fail again. Yeah, that'd be my little sound effects on this particular screen. Okay, stay there. Son of a... Yeah, that's my little gaming sound. Whenever the arcade is up like this, that's what you would hear. Well, Galaga is my absolute favorite game. Get the stupid egg. Thank you. Get the stupid egg. There you go. Let's say. Now, if I hit the right button, it probably would make a world difference. Stay away. Stay away. Yeah. You can play them apples. Okay, I just realized a slight flaw with yeah. There's no jump. That's alright. Slight flaw. That's okay. We'll just let time run out. Bug missile PTSD. Yeah, no, yeah, see, that, close. I love the sour notes. That's a good old game. Centauri was the people who made it here from North America. And we'll give it one more run, why not? They're all at the goose. Yeah, well, what happened was, I wound up shooting at the wrong platform and there's no way to get off, so I had to sacrifice, so I just let time run out. Or actually, no, I fell. Because I'm stupid. Okay. So this is kind of like Konami's answer to Donkey Kong. In a weird way. Okay, there's the bonus. Okay, good shot. There you go. Alright, skip. Sega had a similar like game. I'm not sure if that was a good idea. No. It was not a good idea. Good job. Let's see, Sega had Congo Bongo, which they made themselves for the arcade as well as the consoles. That was actually pretty good. 5200 version was excellent. So it's Coleco 2600 version. Not so much. Okay, that's not good. Okay, yay. That was a good hit. Yeah, I see a small dilemma coming. Yep. They rocked the rope. Wee, indeed. Appreciate you jumping in. Thanks a lot. It's good to play these games and kind of get out some good old early knowledge of some of this crap. Sadly, I was playing these back in the day. Back when I was a lad in school. There you go. I thought I was going up. Good job. Alright. This was a lot of fun back in the day. I love it, like I said earlier, I love when people say, oh my god, these games are so hard. And well, that's kind of, that was the game. This was the thing. I'm going to miss that feather, yep. Damn it. Nope, gonna miss the egg. Oh god, really? Yeah, I see a problem already. Okay, great. Okay, that will take. Get away. That was close. Tetris level 50? Gosh. For the Game Boy, I probably could do that. Play it till it's like dropping as fast as possible. I preferred columns over Tetris, believe it or not. What the hell was I doing? Really? Hey, get away from me. Don't rock the rope. Here, come here. See if I can do this right this time. Atari had a good one too, called Clax. Okay, I see a problem already. Oh! Okay, now. Okay, I really don't want to know what he did there. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Yes! So when people complain about microtransaction games, we're always built to nickel and dime you. I just got the worst with the internet and mobile games. Yeah, kinda. You gotta remember, back in this day of home gaming, it was pretty much a one and done deal. You gotta get up here. Gotta get up here. Ugh. Without falling off the cliff. No? Oh, that will go. Okay. Okay, get rid of you. Bye. I can't believe that took. No! So you got, say, like I said, this came out for the couple consoles. They cost about maybe $30 back in the day. That was not bad. Was it similar to the arcade game? Yeah, it was. Now, in my old feature that we did called Arcade vs. Console, there's just simply not enough home versions. Oh. Got him on mid-jump. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Of course it would. Can't fall higher than my own height. Alright. Pick me up. Keep me going up. Keep me going up. Oh, son of a... There you go. Not bad. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Made it to stage 3 at least. And like I said, that was pretty much your goal. Get as high a score as possible. Get as far in the game as you can. Simple stuff, huh? Okay. Now this game was pretty cool, I have to admit. And my Ms. Pac-Man in my living room actually has this because I have one of those multi-cade boards. This was a pretty cool game. I enjoyed playing this. This is Shaolin's Road. So let's take a look at it. Back in 1985. So once again, you have your typical 4-directional joystick. You can kick, you can jump. And it says crystal ball. If you knock out a green enemy, a crystal ball will come out of his body. Catch the crystal ball to power up, and good luck with that. Sometimes they just fly out all over the place. And if you press jump and kick buttons simultaneously, you can do a jump kick. That is true. Off we go. I used to love the soundtracks to these games, too. Now, you see, I can get hit a few times. And there's the crystal ball mentioned. I said, good luck getting them. Well, there you go. Catch the ball. Nope. No chance in hell. Son of a bitch. Did anyone else had that one kid that did full dance? Yeah. God. My other brother, Kevin. We call him other brother. He's not really my brother. He's my brother's best friend, but we were all quite close. Really? You want to do that, huh? Yay. And he could play Dance Dance Revolution like you would not believe. That was a good Konami game as well. Annoying as hell. Jesus. Yeah, okay. Just saw that coming. I'm getting better. Capture the ball! Nothing! Of course you don't capture the ball. Yeah, there's the bad guy of the board itself. Good to get rid of him early. There you go. We just got to get rid of all the henchmen. Oh yeah, two can play that game. See how easy it is to capture that ball? Easy as peasy. Look at that. The second Dougie. Yeah. Just like all when you get into the arcade, you just don't play the game when they're... Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, back in my days of the arcade, I go back quite a bit. My dad's best friend owned a electronics shop, and he was also a video game dealer. That's how I got started so early. And it was really cool. But he also had a back room full of arcade machines. And that was kind of like my first experience of going to the arcade. But in my area of Florida, we had a thing called Castle Park. And it was one of the largest arcades in North America. and it had all kinds of crap in it. In my days, it was like Donkey Kong Jr., Pac-Man, you know, that type of thing. But there would be times where people would literally have their quarters lined up on where the marquee is, and that pretty much they're telling you in a not so subtle way they're going to be here for a while. Jeez, I forgot about you. Yeah, stay there in the corner. Mind your own business. Oh damn. And sadly, I became one of those, but not so much where I would put a row of quarters there on the marquee. I would literally be there at that game for like a good hour. Notably, games like Ms. Pac-Man and Galaga. And I had this guy, this back when I was an adult, at the same Castle Park. And this guy was like, we had like 5 Ms. Pac-Mans all in a row. And the guy was watching me intensely. He's like, okay, what the hell are you doing? And so instead of playing any of the other 4 Ms. Pac-Mans, he decided to play the one adjacent to me. And he literally went through about 4 games before I died my first life. He didn't seem too pleased. So, hey, I finally caught one! Kicked it right on the other side of the screen. You suck. Okay. Hey, finally! Missed that ball like all those other times. Come on, run after me. Last time I went in the arcade, some kid tried to pick my pocket. Oh. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's like so frowned upon. Absolutely. My brother and I, and we'll just call him LC, as opposed to my being Pac. He was LCC, I was PAC. LC and I were playing The Simpsons. Foo. We're playing The Simpsons, and we got pretty far. We literally had a good old handful of quarters, if you will. Oh, excellent. Can I change the letters? There we go. I mean, we must have had about maybe $6 between us. This was a 50-cent game. Okay. Nope, keep the A. Keep the A. Yeah, Galaga is probably the best long play game, and I'm proud to say I'm one of the few who got over 1 million points. But I don't do a double ship. I always do a single ship. With double ship, you just simply are a bigger target. Having said that, we were playing Simpsons, and we ran out of money. And this kid has been watching us behind us the entire time, and we didn't even know it until he tapped Elsie's shoulder and said, "Here, just take my money. I want to see you beat it." And like, that's so freaking cool. But those arcade memories, those treasured moments. Galaga, yeah. I will stand there and play Galaga for literally over an hour, just because I can. And I just have to be in the mood for it. But it's when I have a really screwed up day, a bad day, that's my chill out game. Did I play this again? What time is it? 12:54. We've gone through about half the list. We can come back to it later. Moving on. Okay. Oh, Gyros is at the other list. Oh, that's one of my favorites. Okay, so we played Shaolin's Road. Now, this is the game of torment. This is Circus Charlie. We're going to play all 6 levels. Oh, joy. I cringe every time I come up to this one. It seems like an easy enough game. It really does. So you have a 2-directional joystick. Go left or right. You can hit jump. And that's essentially it. Super Cobra sounds interesting. Yeah, wait until you see it. You probably say to yourself, wait, didn't I just see this? You have the Fire Kings, you have the trampoline, you have the horseback, the tightrope, ball walk, and the flying trapeze. And they each have their own nightmares. You can jump 3 times in one place, that's what the trampoline is. And to get high score, jump to the ball ahead of the one next to you. So let's go ahead and watch me die as many times as I possibly can playing Circus Charlie. Boy. This is not my game. Okay, so here you're on a line. You have to jump through those hoops of fire. Okay, you have to time it just right. Okay. Missed that one. I'm allowed to. At the 20-meter mark. I can do it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, you suck. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I don't need the money bags. I always did. There's a reason why I gave myself 5 lives for these. Now, all the arcades, I just call them prize arcades. Yeah, Dave & Buster's. My brother currently works in a place called In the Game. A long time ago, it used to be called GameWorks. And he's been there for about 20 years. And he's admitted, like, the old arcade days are pretty much gone. There you go. But yeah, redemption games, what they're officially called. Sega used to make a lot of them. They recently got out of the market, which is really a shame because that's like was their only thing they had left. I actually got a score for this. Cool. All right. Okay. I prefer, like I said, they actually had some pinball tables back in the day. They had the classic arcade games like Centipede, Donkey Kong Jr. They even had a Tron. Remember that game? But yeah, I go in there now, just go say hi, and that's it. I can get prizes from a claw or whatever. The only arcade I go to is a place called 99 Arcade and Bar. Pay one time is all you can play bargain. Yeah, we have a place called a Silver Ball. Oh Lord, forgot about this. Okay, Silver Ball Museum. Oh, good. And it's you pretty much pay for the entry, which is cool. Yeah, that's damn knife throwers. And they specialize in the pinball tables. To be fair, that's hence Silver Ball. I can do it. I got it. Yeah. And it's a really cool place. Now, they have pinball tables that go back to the early 60s all the way up to current day. And back in the day, especially in the 90s, they had Capcom making tables, Sega made tables, Data East made tables. Of course, there's Bally and Williams, which was the same company technically back in those days. But it was really cool. Stern Electronics. And then for a while, and even Sega, and all of them were just making tables, and then at the end of the 90s, it pretty much died out. But it made a comeback, and now we actually have four table manufacturers, including Stern, Jersey Jack, Spooky, and I forget who the fourth one is. But seeing you can play the classic cabinets as well. They had Qbert, Donkey Kong Jr., of course, multicades all scattered about. Really cool place. Went to a similar place, spent nearly 3 hours drinking Diet Coke and playing Mortal Kombat 2. Oh, you should have. I wish I could take all of you to Castle Park. It's called Grand Prix Race Rama in its later years. Then it became Boomers. Now it's gone. But they actually would have literally like a dozen Mortal Kombats lined up in a row. And they did Street Fighter Alpha and the later Mortal Kombat games, and all the other alphas, and it was an absolute blast to go to. As soon as you walk in through the doors, you saw this 4 cabinet Daytona USA. That was incredible. Okay, so we screwed up the easy, normal. Now we're going to go into hard, where we're going to screw up even more. Yep. That's the way to do it. Okay. Because, you know, it's like the floor is lava. Nope, can't even do that. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking was going to happen. Okay, yep. Okay. Forward. Forward, young man. Okay. Well, that's that. Okay, yeah. Wow. Okay, let's see. Let's go to harder with a horsey. Yep. Doing fine. Oh, I gotta get Lala to play this game. She'll severely thank me like no end. Yeah. I thought the horse from last... Well, that was the lion. It was goofy. This is a fine example of Konami shenanigans. Okay. The racing game? Oh, from the television thing from last week? Yeah. No, the horse racing game. I was perpetually the last in everything I could possibly do. The Pringle hoof. Don't leave us? Yes. Okay. Yay! What was I thinking? So, this is not a game that I would spend a lot of money on. There were worse games. Yeah. Reminds me of Jungle Hunt. I don't know if you're familiar with that game. That was a Taito game. I don't know how that... Oh, not enough momentum. Hey, it's over! Thank God. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play that one again. Okay, scramble. Go away. No. Okay. We only got 4 left. Okay. Oh, you're going to like this one, too. Okay, so this is Super Cobra. If you take a look at it, it doesn't look too different from that. That's because it was made around the same time, done by the same people, and, well, you either bought one or you got the other for the most part. I remember there was one time I saw someone on bought a literal shopping cart into the arcade, so I followed him to see what was up. I saw him walk towards a skee ball, and then at that moment I realized what was going on. By the end of the day, he had a shopping cart full of tickets loaded. Yeah, that was an easy game to do. LC, okay, LC moment time. He would maintain the care of the games. That was his job. He was a tech manager, and so here he is literally on top of a skee ball, literally on the ramp, if you will. So you see this this body on a ramp, and he's fixing something in there at the top, and then he hears the machine go chunk. And he hears the balls roll down on the side. Now, mind you, skee balls are rarely ever isolated. Usually you see like 3 or 4 of them, all in a row. And so he hears the balls go down. He looks behind him. And there's this little girl who picked up one of the wooden balls. And, of course, is on not any of the other ones where he's not on. It's the one that he is on. And, of course, he sees the dad there. And he looks at the dad and says, "You're not getting a refund for this." What happens is he took his time fixing the rest of the thing. What happened? A couple of things went out on top, and so if you start the game, which already happened, every 90 seconds the ball counter would tick down 1, so that you wouldn't be perpetually there for for your life. You don't grow old in front of a skee ball. So he literally waited until it counted down about 6 balls, so there were only 3 left. And he's like, "There you go, have fun." And it was like, "Really? That's what you did?" Said she could have gone on any of the other ramps where I wasn't on. is not hard to see me. I feel for him. Let's go to Super Cobra. But see, I would go there and tell him, say, oh, you have the game on a hard setting. Like when they had Centipede, and the spider would be coming at me at, like, super fast 2500. Said, you have this on hard setting. Why? I was like, oh, that's right. 8-way joystick. You can shoot. You can. Gee whiz, this looks awfully familiar. Let's take a look at the instruction card. Destroy fuel tanks. And watch out for enemy missiles which are shot at you suddenly. Invade the base and carry away booty. What kind of game is this? Wait a minute. That's the right game? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you destroy fuel tanks and rockets shoot at you. Gee whiz. I thought the girl was going to chuck the ball at his... No, can't do that. That's kind of frowned upon in Florida. We call that battery. Okay. Okay, instead of mountain ranges, you have, like, building sides and stuff like that. And you still have lousy shots. You have fastest shit missiles. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I played this... Oh, Lord. Forgot about this. As you see, the zones are much smaller, though, mercifully. So you can actually not start all over at the very, 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 very beginning. And I forgot about this, too. And you surf the rocks. Pray to God you don't get hit. There you go. Go through the Charlie Brown shirt-inspired maze here. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. Not where I thought this was going. Ah! Boo! Alright. Look at this. It probably would help me if I didn't crash into the missile. Just a thought. Yeah, and I run out of fuel. Now, one of the games that I loved, where you had to watch your fuel consumption, was a Sega game called Zaxxon. Hey, there I go. 1,000 miles cleared. Yay! I feel I've accomplished something so minor. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Pardon my language. Okay. Ah! Hey. Okay. Yeah, it probably would help if I didn't like fly into the thing. Okay. Hey, I didn't even make it to the vanity table. Nor will I. Try again. The music is fitting. And I wondered, why are there missiles in a cave? Because it's video game logic, my friend. You know how this stuff works. Why is there anything in these games? Why are ghosts chasing a yellow ball that eats everything in sight? Who the hell cares? Although I will have to admit... I feel like playing Us versus Them all of a sudden. Greatest Laserdisc game ever be made. I was waiting for that. What's the matter, Vin? You don't want Us versus Them? It's a good game. It'd help if I didn't fly into the side there. My trailer is Us versus Them. It's as bad as you can imagine. In the era of Dragon's Lair. Where you look at the game and you ask yourself, for God's sakes, why? Now, I had this also for the 5200, which was pretty much as close as you got for a second-gen console. And every time I mention the old Ataris, like I said, there is going to be in November, mid-November, there will be an Atari 2600 Plus that will be released. Essentially, is a modern-day Atari 7800 because it will play both the 2600 and the 7800 games. Costs about $130, and it comes with a 10-in-1 cartridge. And I saw the 10-in-1 games, and it's like all your classic games like Haunted House and Combat. And good God. Most wimpy missiles ever go 2 feet and then they go do go do a nosedive, exactly. Kind of like what I'm doing. That I'm flying into the fuel tank. I can't believe I missed both those frickin' tanks. Okay. Yeah, okay. And I missed all those fuel tanks too. And I'm gonna go crashing. I got shot. But I am seriously interested in getting one of those to hook it up to this pokey little machine I have, my pokey little channel. And yeah, I wouldn't mind digging out some of my 2600 titles. Because unfortunately for the Atari licensed stuff, it's literally their games. Remember, they made all the games themselves for the most part until Activision came along. Yay, I finally did something with all my lives except for this one. And so if you had like games like Dig Dug, for example, well, although Dig Dug was Atari released in North America, it was actually a Namco game. Okay, I got hit by a shuttlecock. Like, we still got 3 games to go. Okay. Let's put me out of my misery now. Okay. Here we go. It's one of those games that makes more sense the less you think about it. But like I said, games like Pole Position was the Atari 2600 game at one point. That will not be on the list because that was a Namco creation, still under license by Namco. Even though Atari brought it out for the arcades and for your home. So I will get my old cartridges, put them in the machine so we can actually look at that crap. Pole Position was nice. I love the arcade, the deluxe version, the sit-down version. You know, if I actually like not run into things, I probably could last longer. All right, so and not crash into the. Yes, thank you, Ben. I wish my alerts were sounding. Because I would probably never hear the end of it. Okay. Hey, I got 2,000 points! Yay! Oh, Christ! Hey, hit the fuel there. Wasn't looking where I was going. I think I've tortured myself enough. Yeah. Okay. I have no happy if you keep playing arcade games. Well, believe it or not. This is average, unless you got really super good at these games. You know, just playing these randomly like this. This is about average length games. 5 minutes. 5 minutes usually was it. It got longer with the co-op games like Joust and the original Mario Brothers. You could play those forever if you do it right. But some of the short games for me were like Defender because they had like 6 controllers. 6 controls. You had the thrust button, you had the up-down, the reverse, smart bomb, fire, of course, the dreaded hyperspace. Okay. That just fun. Yep, I did. Okay. Road Fighter. Now this kind of reminds me of Bump and Jump, but it's not Bump and Jump. You'll see in just a second. It came out in '84, and again, you just have your basic steering wheel style, left and right, low and high. Let's see what the card says. Rival car. Faster than a normal car. Normal. Run steadily. GT car. Be careful. This car may sideswipe you. Bonus. Supplies fuels to the player's car. And that's where basically the difference is between this and Bump and Jump. A, you're not doing a great deal of jumping. But B, cars actually supply you fuel instead of, you know, fuel cans. Makes more sense. So if you collide into a brightly lit car, you get fuel. Because of course. Dodge rivals and obstacles appear one after the other. Fantastic. Let's go. I am rank 40. Okay, let's go. Alright. As you can see, it's a nice sunny day. Light traffic. Probably asking yourself, what the hell? Admittedly, I never saw this game in the arcades. It may have not been released here in North America per se. But I don't recall this being a Stern Norris and Atari game. Those were the two primary distributors for North America Konami games. Because Konami didn't have a presence here yet. That would appear roughly around 1988 when you start seeing Konami games. Are you kidding me? I gotta get... Yeah, okay. Just to get a stupid fuel card. Good job. This does kind of remind me of Traverse USA, but... Fuel slick. Come on. Isn't it exciting? That's the fuel tanker. Driving on the left side of the road as slow as can be. Just like in real life. My fuel is running low. My fuel is running low. My fuel is running low! Rainbow car hurts my eye. Well, it's just the way it is. Oh, okay, come on. Come on, come on, come on. No, you son of a bitch. First car gets in my way and drives slower. Just like here. In good old South Fla. Okay, do I have enough to get... Yes! Maybe if I run into the tanker, I get a whole tank of fuel. Boom. Okay. I still ranked 40. 3 minutes. Look at that. Look how far I got. It's like pre-outrun, except nowhere near as exciting. And I got my name on the vanity table. How about that? There we go. Maybe slow down. Wasn't I going slow enough? It's like the OG long drive. Kinda. Yeah, except this one cost 25 cents to play. Let's see, going back up thing here. You said, Ducky, it reminds me of one of the scenes from James Bond Goldfinger. James Bond drove a lesser car, it was an Aston Martin. That's right, Aston Martin is the obvious superior. Yep. Oh gosh, he drove Aston Martins, I believe when Pierce Brosnan became Bond, he started driving BMWs. Whatever. I prefer the Aston Martin. Sean Connery was my James Bond. So, there we go. That's the end of that. Should I play it one more time, just so I can see what else I can do with this, other than, like, drive real slow, stay at rank 40? It's like Leisure Drive. Help if I actually hit the button while the light went green, too. Okay, okay, that's a bit faster. That's a bit faster. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, I might be a little too fast. Yeah, just a tad. Okay. No, there you go. No, it really reminds me of traffic down here. If you haven't been to South Florida, yep, that's about right. That's about right. Like the Palmetto Expressway, maybe. You haven't lived until you've been rush hour traffic on that stupid ass road. Oh, goody, yep. There you go. Yep. Hey. I don't know how the hell I saved that one. I prefer going slow all of a sudden. It's like going faster than 30 in residential zone. You just die within the first 10 seconds, pretty much. And as you see, as fast as I went, I went just as far. It's just one was a tad more exciting than the other. That's all. Okay, enough of that thing. Jesus. Konami was not known for the racing games, mercifully. Okay. Time Pilot. Now, this is an all-time classic. I love this game. On the Sega Saturn, they actually released in Japan the MSX collection, which I do have, and they released Capcom and Konami games. And I just had to have it for this one game, because I'm that stupid. I will actually buy a collection just for one lousy game. That's back when I actually worked in the industry, though. So, you know. What happens when you work for EB Games and Babbage's and GameStop for a collective 10 years. Now they're all the same stupid company. 8-way joystick and a shot. Destroy a large airplane in order to time warp into the next era. Get 2,000 points by destroying all enemies quickly. If you save one person, you'll get 1,000 points. If you save 2 people, you'll get 2,000 points. Wow! Imagine that. 2 people, 1 for 1,000, 2 for 2,000. What math? And then so on. Max is 5,000. If you knock out a number of enemies, a large plane will appear. That doesn't look like a plane. The Time Pilot. This, like I said, I love this game. Marty did have this game. I made him get this game. He had no choice but to get this game. So this is kind of like 1942, but going in circles. Okay. Yeah, and they're shooting bombs at me, which look kind of awkward. A little bit more, yeah. Nope. Not so fast. That's funny, I have yet to see one parachutist. Look at that. As if on cue, with Atari 2600 sound effects, yeah, you're chucking out far too many bombs to my liking. Got an extra man. Woohoo! Now, sadly, they made a sequel to this game. It's like a more violent version of Back to the Future where DeLorean was a fighter, kinda. Okay, there is a very loud blimp. There I go. Yes, it is like asteroids. It's kind of like a combination of things. It's like asteroids. It's kind of like Sinistar, asteroids, and a little bit of 1942 era style with me colliding into large things because I'm stupid. All right, let's try this again. As I said, they made a Time Pilot sequel, which was nowhere near as good. Which, you know, you can look for it. I won't go out of my way to play it. And this game does get quite a bit harder. You kill innocent piglets to get into the next era. There we go. Now it's... I wish this game made it to the 3rd generation of gaming. That would be the Nintendo Entertainment System. But it made it to the 2nd generation. But unfortunately, we were talking about this at work, because I do talk about the stupid shit that I do here. And a lot of the games from pre-1983 are not played here. And that's simply because of the fact that there's not a whole lot of access to it. Where'd he go? What, he just got blown away like that? Jesus. Okay, yeah. Wait. Get over here. I will rescue you. Things I have to do. Alright. Subtitles shopper, yep. Oh, no, don't go. Yeah. Darn autocorrect day. Pilots. See what you have there. Oh, my initials. Hang on. I'll get to what you guys said in just a moment here. Appreciate you coming in. Really do. Thank you. Okay, hit the button, something should happen. There it goes. Stupid PS2 controllers. Alright. Excellent trade-off. Okay, where were we? Controls remind me of asteroids. Yep, we have to get to kill innocent pilots to get into the next era. Yep. Get into that's stream stickers. Pilots. Darn autocorrect today. Reminds me of the subtitles in Chopper and Star Wars Rebels made the droid homicidal. Yeah, gotta remember that this is like pre all that. Except Asteroids. Asteroids came out in 79. So this is shortly thereafter. I think Sinistar already came out by this time as well. I think Sinistar was an 82 game. But earlier. This also was 82. It's like a combination of things. But it was a pretty cool game nonetheless. And again, we didn't have Konami as a name yet. This would be under Centauri's moniker. Cool game. It really was. Do a little bit of shorty round here, and then we'll move on to the next game. Because I got to do some physical therapy with my wife, London Lass. Who's still not 100%, but she's getting better every day. And as soon as she's able, we're going to do a co-op stream. And we're going to play Rampage World Tour. I love getting hit by that stupid ass ball. Rampage World Tour, if you're not familiar with that game, that came out by Midway back in the 90s. And it's a really cool update to the original Rampage, which she and I happen to love as well. A lot of fun playing that game. And I cannot believe, for the life of me, they made a movie off that stupid thing. with of all people, Dwayne Johnson. Like, really? Okay, I got my life. Got my extra life. And I lost my extra life. Because that's just the way this game plays. I'm going to have to remember that one. Okay. Sooner or later, a blimp. Or as they call it on the card, large plane. We're just going to go up. We're going to go up and stall. Nope, there's a blimp. Twink, blink, twink, blank, blank, whatever. Like I said, the first one was really short. First one was cool. Second one, I could do without. There were a number of games that were cool, that had better sequels than the first one, like Pac-Man vs. Ms. Pac-Man. This was not one of them. Although, I did like Stargate, which is the second Defender game. Now it's called Defender 2. Versus the original Defender. Now, on a programming note, as I mentioned, we're going to do compilations on Saturdays. And the very first commercially packaged emulator package was Williams Arcade's Greatest Hits. It came out for the computer for DOS. Remember that thing? Back in 1994. And this is back in the days where, you know, MAME was just getting started. Believe it or not. So, it's a really sensitive button for some reason. Alright. So, we'll be doing the Williams games. There'll be 6 games. That'll be Defender, Defender 2, Joust, Sinistar. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the other two off the top of my head. Bubbles, which is kind of quirky little game. And I'll remember the other ones at some point. Defender, Defender 2, Joust. Well, I have the stupid thing over here. Hang on. Right in front of me. Let's see, what's it say here? Sinister, you know, if I had a light on, I probably could read all this too. 6 games, how about that? Joust, Defender, Stargate, Sinistar, Bubbles, and one other game. Because I'm such a professional gamer. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of this. Got 2 more to go. Alright. No, 1 more to go, excuse me. Okay. This was a cool game. They released this for the Nintendo as well. Stargate has nothing to do with the movie, right? Yeah, Stargate has nothing to do with the movie. Stargate was just simply the second Defender game. I think the story was already out by this point. And Williams voluntarily changed the name to Defender 2 because of the copyright. So they just said, yeah, you know what, screw it, we're not going to fight this one. I do love the story about how Defender, the original game, did not almost come out. We can actually check it out with the interview section of that disc next week. So, moving on to the last game of this particular list, Gyrus. Now, at work, we actually have a Gyrus arcade game. And it actually works to my satisfaction, which is really strange. So I actually spend money at work needlessly. I know it's hard to believe. So if you take a look at this, you see that the directional is a little weird because it actually used the paddle. What the hell is that? Paddle is that little circular disc like you see on the Pong machines. Okay, that's why they're called paddles, by the way. You use your paddle to make your ship go 360 around. Well, you'll see. Of course, you have a shot. Let's take a look at the card. It's simple. Clear the chance stage, get 10,000 points. You can get bonus points if you destroy the enemy formation. It just talks about the chance in that, huh? Okay, and rotate 360 degrees. Of course. You also have little bonus things that will come to help increase your shot power. Let's take a look at the game. Now, this is kind of like a Galaga versus Tempest. Okay, okay. Swing out this way. And you can still shoot them while they're in the center. And you'll have little obstacles, like little asteroids coming by. And then you get shot. Because that's the way the game works. Very good version of the NES had. Nice. Now I have a double shot. Believe it was still under Ultra Games by that time. Konami did not make a presence yet until 1988. Because even if you take a look at the old Metal Gear box, should you actually have one, you'll discover that it's Ultra Games that put out that game, not Konami. And that was not uncommon back in those days. For example, Square in Japan, but Square Soft in North America. I just remembered Starfighter. Up. Okay. They will come and hit you. Starfighter. Oh, yes. There are a lot of Star games. I actually, I have probably one of the 6 people who have a 3DO. Who still has a 3DO. A lot of people got rid of theirs. Here's a chance stage. Ding. And another pass. Okay, that's... Ah, missed one. Crap. The Last Starfighter, yeah. I was wondering if you were talking about that. That was an interesting movie. I remember seeing that when it premiered on, I think it premiered on Showtime, way back when. Showtime does go back that far. Back in the 80s. It was alright. Pardon me as I concentrate on the game. I got into this game. This is a great game. I love the soundtrack it had too. And of course, yeah, they threw an asteroid like right at the end. Of course, bastards. 2 warps to Uranus. Insert joke here. Okay. Can I continue? Or will it take me right back to the beginning? Ah, initials. Okay. I can do that. Ouch. That sound does not go well with headphones. Yeah, we'll play again. Oh, I have to start all... no, continues. Yeah, Last Starfighter was okay. My era of science fiction goes back to Star Trek, back when before it was a movie. I missed out on it in first run, but I back when syndication went in the first run syndication, or rather rerun syndication. Excuse me. Okay, go. Yay! That's when I kind of really got into it. That and the Wild Wild West, but that's another story for another day. Oh, I can't believe I just flew right into that. Like a dork. I just like die already. There you go. And of course, Star Wars. But there's so many other games, movies rather. Why do I keep doing that? Just why? Okay. See, you know what it is? I just want to fly into the weapons there. Okay. Come on. There you go. Yeah, Pac-Man's one of the sounds in the. That's a loop track that's playing on this particular screen. I don't have my double shot. Damn. Yeah, this will suck. That's alright. Well, it's like when I played Galaga for the challenge screens. I rarely ever got a perfect score with a single. And I'm fine with that because that's how I played it. Don't fly into the rocks. Thank you, Vin. Appreciate it. Yeah, that'd be a good idea for survival. That was close. Okay, get my double shot. Lose my double shot. Okay. Okay. Okay, you can go away now. Thank you. Okay, 2 more warps to Uranus. Say up your... No. What did I say? I'm reading a Star Trek novel. And they had an off-color Academy song called Down from Saturn and Up Uranus. But that's another story for another time. Then they promised the release of The Last Starfighter at the end credits. Movie never did. Yeah, it was an arcade game. The home consoles... This reminds me of another movie, Cloak and Dagger. Which starred Henry Thomas and Dabney Coleman. And they played Atari 2600. No, Atari 5200 game cartridge. It was a wide cartridge back in those days. And you put it into your 5200, and of course you play the game. It was actually the arcade game. It never got released. Last Starfighter, I don't believe got released either. Or did it? I believe it was the arcade game. But gotta remember, also by that time, the video game crash had pretty much occurred. And I remember, like when I got my 3 ETs that Christmas, I got 3 of them. One for my mom, one for my best friend's grandmother, and one for my own grandmother. Yay, communication. But, I think that was around, what, 84? Pretty much a lot of video game projects got pretty much put off to the side. Largely because there was just no market for it anymore. The market had dried up. One second, going to look up. Go ahead. Yeah. No, I could do that too, but... Starfighter. Yeah, let's look it up. Do it one-handed. S-T-E-R. Of course, it gives me the cast. Because, of course, yes. Video game? Video game? And you gotta remember, video games and movies back in this day sucked. They did not mix. Along with Disney's Tron, yep, being the one cinema's earliest film to use extensive real-life blah 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 blah. Okay. It's not the game. Arcade game by Atari, yep. That had never released, yeah, that's what I thought. You know, being in my 50s now, memories... I have a good recall memory, but it's not as strong as it used to be. So they had other movie games. The Atari 2600 had Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was interesting. I'm not going to say it was bad. It just simply was interesting. But of course, E.T. And I, on my YouTube page, one of the videos there has me having fun with E.T. That was the killer. So a lot of things got literally put off to the side thanks to that kind of stuff. And real quickly, just a side note since we have a few minutes. The way that worked, Atari spent literally about $500,000 on licensing alone. But unfortunately, they didn't have much beyond that as far as a budget for this game. And Howard Scott Warshaw, the guy who did Yar's Revenge, was tasked to create the game, develop it and so forth. And because all that money was spent with Universal getting the rights, he had a whole 6 weeks from start to finish. Literally conceptualization all the way up to the actual box being up on a shelf. 6 weeks. And, play the game. Tell me what you think. It's poor soul indeed. And the funny part is that he was a brilliant game developer. And it's really a shame. But he did create Yar's Revenge, one of my absolute all-time favorites. That's one of the games that's in that 10-1 cartridge for the Atari 2600 Plus. So I look forward to that. I'm going to see if I can make that a Christmas gift. See if I can coerce London Lass like, hey, you want to spend a lot of money on me? And she's going to say, you want what? Yes, okay. That's pretty much it. Oh, man. Konami Classics. That was released back in 1999 for the PlayStation 1. And they didn't have too many other collections back in those days. Namco was releasing... in fact, they released it all throughout 1995 and 1996 in the Namco Museum, which was a 5-disc consortium, if you will. Released one at a time. The good ones are 1 and 3. Just give you a heads up. Fortunately, they kind of condensed all those in future releases. But next week at this time, we will be looking at the Williams Arcade's Greatest Hits. Again, that has 6 games. They released this on a number of things. They released it on, get this, the computer back in 1994. In 1995, they released it on the PlayStation 1, and shortly thereafter, they released it on the Sega Genesis, as well as the Super Nintendo. And this was an early example of emulation on a commercial package. And Digital Eclipse was the emulator people. They still are. That exists still today with all those ads and indie games. Nothing like that. Yeah. Nothing like the ad. Well, the package, yeah. I know that you can still see like a version of it on Steam, and they've re-released this so many times. PlayStation 2 has like the 3 Midway packages. The first one included all 6 of the original Williams. Atari Games was also under Midway back in those days. Atari Games versus Atari. Atari, the home division, was pretty much the one that killed themselves. Atari Games separated around a little after the crash back in 1984, and they became part of the Midway coin-op division. Let's see. So you're going to find a bunch of Atari games in there, as well as Williams games, as well as Midway games in the later compilations. But we're going to go with the very, very first one. Back in the day when you didn't see too many of these. They didn't exist yet. It took a while for that kind of crap to catch on. Like I said, this one was released back in 1999. 5 whole years later, Konami says, you know what, we can do that too. The one company that never really did this, unless you want to consider a piece of hardware, was Nintendo. And I joke about, I have a couple of colleagues who will literally buy, for everything they have, Super Mario Brothers. They're the only company I know that will sell the same damn game over and over and over again. Exactly the same thing at a premium price. Unlike Sega, that Genesis collection on Steam and on PlayStations and such. Namco with their museum, Atari with their whatever, like their 50th anniversary doohickey released last year. Nintendo doesn't do that. They'll just stick it to you. And they do it very well. And I'm one of the dummies who will buy it too. Because why not, damn it? I gotta have my 18th Zelda. But I wish Nintendo would, though, sometimes, because it'd be a pleasure to show. Unless you had, like, the Mini NES, the Mini Classic NES. That's, like, the one example. But, again, it wasn't cheap. And they didn't make that many. So, there's that. If you like what you saw, for those watching the VOD, please give me a follow. I greatly would appreciate it. I also have a YouTube page of all the crap that I've put out that are no longer here on Twitch. I also have an Instagram page of all the silly, crappy things that I've collected over the last 47 years of gaming. Twitter, will actually tweet stuff once in a while if I bother to remember. And I got a Discord going. Kind of fell apart there when my wife was in the hospital. We're going to try to revitalize that at one point. Don't know when, but at some point. But you can catch me there as well. I'll post stupid stuff from time to time. Like whenever my daughter makes me a fantastic dish. She's an actual chef. And she is very good at what she does. Let's see if there's anybody out there that I know that I can actually raid with both of my viewers. Let's see what I got here. Mr. Taco. I wonder if Colton. He is out there. He's playing Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Oh no. I was never a fan of Final Fantasy VIII. I like 7. 6 is my favorite. No, 9 is my favorite, to be fair. Yeah, we'll start raid, whatever. Alright. I will see you next time on Monday night. We're going to play some Phantasy Star 4. We're going to continue on with that game. See ya. Bye.